He had a nice personality outside the home, and he did all these things that were pleasing in the eyes of society. He gave me gifts. He said the right words, but it was all for the show. This made it difficult for people to notice my pain. During the first year of our marriage, I ran away, but my family brought me back. Nothing changed, and I knew I had to escape, or I would have been killed carelessly someday. These were the words by Sadia Kanu. Sadia Kanu is an advocate and a survivor of domestic violence. She's the founder of Sadiz Anti-DomesticViolence Foundation. This is Real Talk with Aline TV show. I am your host, Aline Keister. I'll be right back after this.
Let's watch the Real Talk with Aline TV show by our very own daughter of Sierra Leone, Aline Keister.
This is Real Talk with Aline TV show. Of course, I'm here with my guest today, Sadia Kanu. Welcome, Sadia.
Thank you, Elaine.
You look so beautiful today.
Thank you.
Now everything. How do you feel?
So good, thank you, and I'm glad for dinner so today.
Me glad you passed you. I'm so happy you're here. I want to say thank you for really just honoring my invitation.
Yeah.
Of course, if you just missed what I read earlier, today we're going to be talking about domestic violence.
Yeah.
And Sadia actually happened to be a victim. We don't make actually fund this foundation when that's Sadiz Domestic Violence Foundation, where now it advocates for people that would go through them.
Yeah.
But of course this is Africa. Most of we in denial of a lot of different things. So just for be clear, let me start first. What's in domestic violence?
Okay, waiting at domestic violence, I think the first thing I want to mention when want to describe domestic violence now that when people talk about domestic violence, the first thing we kind of people in mind are just like the physical side.
Right.
Say, okay, now you person beats you or something. But domestic violence now like any behavior where they with an intent for harm like your partner, and mostly it happen within an intimate relationship within a home, because of course it affects man and woman there, and it basically get to do with power and control. So it's not like a behavior where go harm your partner or probably your spouse if you're not married. Yes. And it also domestic violence self get to do with picking them, because picking and self can be then can go through domestic violence in the home. There's an effect on the children. Yeah. So just center around them physical violence, because when we're talking about domestic violence, we get to look at the psychological side, we look at the emotional side. You have the sexual side, which is very common now, and we also get the financial side. So when we talk about the physical side, we look at the kickboxing, biting, stabbing yes, then kind of thing in there. But let we go into the physical and the emotional and psychological side. Helen Dande in bad off, trust me.
Wow.
In bad off, because the physical maybe then go pick her up after 1 to 3 times.
Because the psychological side, because it messes with your brain.
It messes you up. It messes you up, and it gets in and asks for heal, because it has a long-term effect on you. And this psychological, we talk about intimidation, we talk about name calling, they talk about where you partner they say bad things then to you, and sometimes it can be done in the public where like outside people in there, but most times it happen when I know today within the home or in a private setup. So it can difficult for let people then come out and say, okay, now this they happen with me, and it is because of some of the things then they make it damaging. Because imagine, yes, emotionally your partner they tell you bad word, they curse you, it mock you probably if you're not somebody where get a weight problem, they tell you then things then you always get for the walk on eggshells around them, because even when he do bad, but he go get for they turn the thing around for like it like na you they
not
do
the problem.
yeah,
so they really mess up your self-esteem and
all them kind thing in the and even like when you they try for do something, you go they tell you say I know say you not go able for do am, or you not get the ability for do this, or you stupid, or you lack sense, you know, so all of them things, and it messes you up. And then we have the sexual abuse. Not only means okay, like because I can say this, you can be married but you're being sexually abused, because not so like where the man go force you no more. But imagine if you're pregnant, the man they force you for do abortion. We've had those things, yes. Or something the man they force you for take some drugs, some contraceptive drugs, or something there are things that way you know and for do sexually where it force you for do. So not to like just for you know they force you no more for just do the act, but all of them things, and they come under sexual abuse. And then you have the financial abuse. Then they say people where they can talk, people can look and say, okay, well, this not a waiting, you know, too common, or people you know they get any weight. But trust me, imagine if you're your man then also na get a shared bank account, a joint bank account, and then where probably it tell you say you know go draw money. Yes, it will withhold all that kind of thing. And they imagine your man buy motorcar for you, and then when probably it withhold, or sometimes when probably you know give you money for picking and school fee, you know pull money in a house, it withhold all of them things then they. And most times the people like I don't have to say housewife, because now we get people that when a housewife but then gets a business on the side, but like they talk about like spouses the way virtually not get nothing for do, we just stay in a house. Yes, most of them are thinking they go through them things, and that financial they also come under the economical abuse as well, because if you're able to support yourself, most of them things they also not go happen. Although Helen, when it comes to domestic violence, it does not have like status. It goes beyond. You know, therefore you not go say, okay, I'm so educated, and they go through that. Yes. So it cuts across the educated, the people that will not go school better, the highly placed. Yes, the grassroots. It goes across. Yes, across.
You know, and what are some of the effects? That's you know of domestic violence.
Well, when we talk about domestic violence, me categorically they focus more on women.
Okay.
Yes, even though men if they go through domestic violence, but women then they go through more. And when you then are a home where probably you're not a housewife, or you get a relationship, even if picking all day, picking day, it go down to the picking them. And
so it kind of like the show. I know people that read actually they die.
Yes.
Off of that, look like some murder. We're killing Wefna McKinney.
Exactly.
Just last week, even one small picking in boyfriend shoots in America.
Yeah.
You know, and it'd be so funny because I'd be just there on the process for say, look, I they talk about this and I see that, and I'm like, oh my God, you know.
Yeah.
So I think these are also some of the things that where they really affect. Like say, man, they go through, but I think we focus on is about women. I'm sorry, it's all about the women.
All about us. All about us.
So, but you're not the founder of the Anti-Domestic Violence Foundation, Sadiz. You know, why make you decide for come up with the foundation?
Okay. I go through by you introduction. Of course, people Google don't know.
Oh yeah, when they get to the nitty-gritty, I just want to let me get. Don't pull this one before just decide.
So I went through domestic violence like over 10 years ago, because I was married and all that. And when I go through all that and see how my life changed because of my experience, I look and say one key thing that was lacking where not been the main problem that I not been no say this is domestic violence. I didn't know the signs. I didn't know I was going through
so
abuse.
You thought it was love?
Well, yeah. Well, you know, because Helen, one thing I can always say, because the foundation basically the main aim as of right now now for spread the word for sensitize people, because we they focus, even though we they focus on like victims, but we also they reach out to like the girls, and they focus on between 16 to 22, because they are very prone to domestic violence at that stage. People, they don't know, they don't even understand what it's all about. So because of my experience, I was 22 when I get married, and like all them things that they happen, I don't even know say how they go through abuse. And I want to say this to people, let we understand, say somebody where they abuse you, your partner where they abuse you, no, they come as the enemy. You know, they come as this kind of person way you they feel say, okay, this is violence and waiting. Some of the abusers then can be the sweetest people there. Helen, yes.
Whoa.
And it's part of the cycle of domestic violence, because they come as like very normal, sweet and gentle
that cares
people.
The most about you, they love you.
Yes.
They will die if you leave them.
Yes. And it comes with all the attention, because that is how it starts us at first. You go, they feel say, okay, this man like you, they give you all the attention and all thing, then it begin change. The thing begin flip. You know, they go, well, some people there and then it can be say, okay, then can begin beat you first, but it's never the case. Most times. It can begin small. When I go begin get this kind of controlling way, you know, I'll let you talk to this, you know, all that's not part of domestic violence.
Now you think, oh, yes, you're jealous because he left
fine.
me.
And then it go give you 1 or 2 slap, and then the next day can give you gift. So you go look and say, okay, well, this is the change. And most times, abusers do not change. They know they change. Yes. And as soon as they go, now so the cycle, they change, it go round, because it change in a form way, it begin progress. Maybe if you don't use forgive 1 to slap, it beg you take, it begin go to kick.
Yes.
And then it begin go to other things then. Helen, one of the things that we're not ready for talk about yet, the effect, the results the way that they cause. Because trust me, people in the way, then they go through so much. I know they talk about the physical, because then go beat you all, okay, you go hospital, everything. But think about the women the way they did, because that was it for me at some point. Not to be even the beat, but there was a point where I don't get one confidence
in yourself, because it make you feel a certain type of way.
My self-esteem was very low, and trust me, it took years for me to develop that day. Even now, to be honest, it comes and goes, because it's still a healing process for me. But now I'm comfortable for able to talk about them. And I feel say, I don't just want to think about myself, I want to think about the people the way they out there. People. The younger women, we need for Yeridi say, this is real. And the sooner you know about it, the better for you, because then you know the signs. So when somebody come, they begin give you all the red flags, then you know say, my dear, not for flee.
Not for fleas, so you don't want to miss it, trust me. We'll be right back after this.
Let's watch The Real Talk with Aline TV show by our very own daughter of Sierra Leone, Aline Kistar.
Welcome back to Real Talk with the Lean TV show. Catch us every Wednesday on AYV TV, Star Plus TV, FTN, and AfriRadio. If you just missed today's episode, we're talking about domestic violence. Of course, I have Sadia Kanu with me, who was once a victim, but of course now it don't transform me in life. You know, it don't build up. Small, the self-esteem, they come back, and it's time for help other women the way to go through this, because this is something we don't talk about. We think it's an African thing. We feel like, okay, man beats you now because he like you. You get woman to go to say, me man, they beat me, he not like me. But these are some of the signs, like if they say, the minute you begin to see the red flags, you run. But however, because they don't go through the experience, we get an answer because we want to can talk and share them with you. Maybe they go through them, you don't understand what it is, and we don't want to let problem happen to you tomorrow, because we see women and they kill the woman them, and we just ignore it. Happen at salon, it happen overseas, so it's not something we're playing about at all. And of course, I'm all for the women. So welcome back, Sadia.
Thank you.
But they talk earlier, of course, some of the signs, like you say, the perpetrator, they come as an enemy. They come as a lover, boy. You know, it come as somebody who cares for you even more than your parents. You know, now they can always say, nobody not like you, and of course, but you go through all of this, and then, you know, you don't build up your esteem. Like say, they go and come.
Yeah.
But now I really want to get into the juicy part. Like some of we wait outside, we go say, okay, Sadia in this relationship, like you say, for 10 years, or 10 years ago. Why make you not left?
And like I say, it was in a marriage, you know, and one thing I can always say, too hard for talk, but a good for talk. Before we married, some of them things then they been only come out. But like I say, one of the issues the way we get, which was my problem, I not be no saying domestic violence. I not be no way to abuse mean. So I just think to say this is something maybe we can talk about, because in any relationship, it tends almost jam.
Right.
So I just imagine, say, if you get you picking, what way you picking do you go get for alapana or beat, and sometimes when I go talk, when I go negotiate. Now the way the world down there, you need for the talk to you picking. So maybe they look forward to a relationship wherein if something they go wrong, when I go talk, and because no relationship they were not perfect, no they were perfect. Una must they waiting. So it was a thing of not knowing this was abuse than in a one. And then when I begin to understand, because imagine if you did in a home, you constantly in the walk on eggshells, on I go get for you, they go through beating all the time. This person, they tell you how you useless, how you worthless, you know, they threaten for kill you all the time, something, and they, you know, some of the words them not even good for say. And then you see the next time it can beg you, then that was it. And the same way I can understand now, say, this not a picking play again, this I'm in a very, very dangerous situation. Then I understand, say, it is difficult for me for move on at that time day, because it's a marriage. Helen, imagine the kind of society where we do now. Even for now, safe as a single woman, sometimes if I talk to some married people when they get for do with domestic violence, so man can look me like for say this is she's single, what you get for tell me. So imagine you think about all that you did in a marriage, you know what for let it break up. You think about your family, you think about what people then go say, because of course we society we always get people are always judgmental, especially when it comes to marriage. Waiting and go say, hey, na the woman I know want sit down even nah. Even though you go to try your best, you go to do all waiting for do, and then I can't begin to think, say, who's I go? Wait I go say, waiting people and go say, me family I go start.
Do you have kids with him?
No.
Okay.
But it not be easy, because even then and they say, I look and say, me mama na be a single parent, how for go back the shame and all thing. So I had to stay. But then he even progressed to a time where I run away. The first time I run away. But because this salon, yeah, so the way we did, we so put premium on family. It's good because marriage is good. It's a honorable thing. But you they find out, say, when it come, all waiting they want for do not for go beer. They know they go into the crux of the matter. They don't want for no waiting at the thing. So and even they affect me, because the next way they go say, okay, well now for big you understand it go carry big. So I run away, then go take me back. But then when they get like an argument with somebody where begin quiz your throat, where begin put pillar over your face. Then you know, and where they tell you say something, and they like, I remember the very last day before I run away, the final run away now, like when the team begin, it locked the door. So we were just alone, and not to be the first tenant. And that very day, I been just feel say that was my last day.
So you thought you were gonna die?
I was gonna die, yes, that last day. So when it stops, I knew, okay, you know it in, I find out, say this, if I don't come on I so I would die. There was no way I was going to escape death if I was here. So even though I begin look up about all within society get for say, because Helen, I was around 24, 25, I begin thinking to say, waiting and go say, what have they go start? Waiting for say, me mama the shame. But I thought about my life. Because it reach a stage where when you're broken inside, it begin get suicidal thoughts. Yes. there was a point where I began to think, say, this the next time way they hit me, I'm going to kill him. I reached that point. There. Yes, ooh. I reached there. So imagine like all 10 person they beat you, all 10 they wait, you know, so I begin develop ideas na me aid. And there was a point again where I did think to say, okay, well this I don't want for dinner salon because I remember waiting people and they talk, well, make her run away. But I had no funds. I was still in school. I mean they college that Sunday. I didn't a bank, then they pay me almost, you know, be even rich almost. So I begin thinking, say, how was that? I come on and my mama was I don't get anything else there again. I don't get
so
paid,
I don't get go back to your mama because I mean you're close with your mother.
Yeah, yes.
So you're not be able to really talk to them at the time?
Well, like I say, when one of the things that we make I still stand say I want for invest in this domestic violence thing because I don't say young ladies that like me, nor they get people they for talk to. Even though me and my mama being close, but plenty things then they were not being they say to me mama. Because it comes with shame. It comes with shame. I know they even pass like something they one or two paddy then they notice them. But how old are you go to go say, hey na so you get blood waiting
so
a
you get blood clot, you get black eye,
yes, black eye, all you get for they go hospital, all you get for they go this, and then how for they explain that to people. So there were times where I'm not being comfortable, I'm not being able for they tell me mama. Sometimes then now where the case you know escalates yes. It can get for the no. You know, but then what thing he go do? You know because
I'm married.
Yes, I'm married.
Oh, no and put shame on me.
Exactly. And then he said married not to the parents no more. You get them godmommy and all thing. But he reached a stage where I remember say one time in the way one of the godparents then say, well the last one way the person me get for say, well, I can't because I know go make me picking go na that kind of home day. So I can't tell this picking for goodie back. You know, but like that last day where I know say this if I continue for day now, so I go lost my life. That was it for me. But like I say, it comes
so
with
what didn't he really do that particular day? They will make you know say, oh, this they kill me if I know.
Because
what's the worst thing that particular day?
Because well that day with all waiting be not happy. That day it was the beating. Okay. It was the beating because it really deal with me. Because times and on day way like me and I'm going to argue we go take iron hot goose and like just like when you waiting. No. But like when you go yes. Oh, so wow. Like where it go just like take us like when you go and yak somebody. You understand? So times and on day where it caught me then I lay complain then it just tell well, he tell him parents and say, okay, well, nah, for them, he cutting and you know, waiting and color. Well, now been some exchange where I don't know if now be sticker or something like a dandy. Times and on the way don't put pillar over me
for suffocate you.
Me face, yes. While other time back be the way like na me throats way like it try for quiz. Are they but like over 1 week? Are they struggle for swelling? I went through all of that, but the point was I've been a thing say how I go do what I go say to people. I don't want for left this married. But then when it comes to that side where I know say I get a whole lot ahead of me. I get me life. I was just 25 at the time. I say, you know what, this one I don't mind, I don't care again waiting get for happen. I have to leave. So I can they look and say plenty woman in the way then a me situation where me be lucky, me not me get picking at that time. But some of the story that we made hearing some people the way they talk to me. Imagine you get two picking there and begin look and say some people can tell me, "Usa they go with two picking." Some people then they were not financially strong. And when I come on at the house, I had nothing because all of the things that I left, I just take me close. Think where I come, my house now go and begin sleep. But to this day, it was worth it. It was worth it. So I had to start again fresh. And I was still in school. I've been in a bank, better money all day and waiting. But I was happy I made that decision. So I can always tell people and say it is never late. You know, ever late, because especially when you see say this is getting. It only gets bad. And it's not about me, it was more physical. But I think about all the time, all the name calling where me, my self-esteem was zero. I don't even know say I've been to go through trauma. Past like where I've been on common at the host day, then I begin get some funny feeling, fright. Then I go hospital because I mean they say why if somebody like tap me, I go just scared. Or something in a net, I go just like get up, begin check the domot, begin check this, begin you know. Then they advise me for go hospital, and then the doctor been there for tell me say this is trauma, not trauma. Me not be even know than this because of course plenty counseling place they know they na salonia so forth take
that's the
you
other
to.
thing.
So it was more of a point of self-healing, which took longer. You know. So can they tell people and say now some of the things then and because some people are not bold. So especially when that hot and cold thing, where today it go beat you or you do this kind of bad thing. Then the next day, because normally, Helen, couples then go get the issues.
Yeah,
but
when
you,
it gets
you
to that,
know when it cross the line.
Yeah.
You know, especially when it get for doing the man they break your confidence, they make you feel worthless. Now all that they cause mental illness.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I don't want you to miss this, so don't move. Because I'll be right back after this.
Let's watch the Real Talk with Aline TV show by our very own daughter of Sierra Leone, Aline Kistar.
Welcome back to Real Talk with Aline TV show. Catch us every Wednesday on AWeb Entertainment, Star Plus, FTN, and AfriRadio at 10 p.m. If you're just walking into this episode, we're addressing the issue of domestic violence. Of course, we already know what's happening in the world. Not even just Sierra Leone, you know, it's happening everywhere. And of course, I'm here with Sadia Kanu, a victim. And she's here to tell her story because she wants to really, you know, inspire other people. And of course, if you don't notice that you're going through it, some of the signs we talked about it earlier. But make sure you follow my YouTube and download my app on Android Google Play Store. Welcome back, Sadia.
Thank you.
You know, wow. The issues that were happening, of course, like you say, I just came back for this recap if just somebody just come in for just know. The last way you run away, basically at the 10 way, you know, say, okay, if he doesn't die, I'm gonna die. Or you actually, if you say you die. And like we talk about the women of Konamiki get you foundation, but could not even know it and they go through. But who, because of them picking them, like you said, the question is, who's how they left me picking them? Who's how they go begin? You know, you maybe something with them with the watch on, so oh, she was 25 anyway, something I make it get zeal. But some of these things, of course, like I said, even just last week in America, 25-year-old, she got shot by her boyfriend, Sierra Leonean boy as well. Same thing, so saying if you don't see the signs, they ignore him, bam. The pastor, I don't see but the Ghanaian pastor, you know, so it actually they end up in death, you know. So now make we want for address one, this issue, but I want to know what's in some of the reasons for the silence though, because really they take bold women like you, but even you, like you take you almost after 10 years before you actually come out. So not say if it's anything happen, you just not because I forgo, you know, you remember say, hey, I'm not shaming mama, you know, marriage just begin, I go well. All that, you know, waiting, you know, since you only talk to some of the victims, waiting are the problem behind the silence? Why make them not able to talk? Other than some of the issues that we address. Like, you really probably go able to know a lot more of reasons.
Okay. One of the reasons then where I would say na fear and shame. Yeah, because like I said earlier, domestic violence not just they come down to well, I don't want to say the masses, the low level, the lower class of people it cuts across. So imagine if you're like a very learned person, maybe you're like a boss at your office, and then you go through this. There is that shame which comes with domestic violence, because imagine you in a space where probably they control people, and then they get all the kind backlash and all the kind horrible things and they being said to you at home. You man they beat you. So imagine how to come out. And because some people they want to maintain their home as well, then they look and say, okay, the less I talk about it, the less people will know, and then we go just sort out so we say probably it go change. And then we also get the economical side. And most of the people they go through the school rounds where they do sensitization through the schools, and also they go to institutions like then vocational institutions where you hear this story. Some people say I want for but this man they take care of me and my family. This man now they pay me school fees, so I go left and also they go. There was a situation where we began at Eastern where the man they beat her, they put her na gutter and waiting, but the man get shot, and the man we also know people them around. So even when they go to police station for go report, much know they be done. So at the end of the day, we try for talk to her. Guess what? You know, now in fact, he left for pick me call and go back to the man because he look and say, how I will survive.
Madam not sure.
Yeah, yes. So, and then like I they talk about the societal thing. Even as we talk about shame, people there now we know how we society dey. People are all up in other people's business in a negative way. So imagine you dey look and say, I go share this or I go talk about this. What do you mean party they go say? Because we always well it is what it is because people are always want for you bad thing for people there. So then they look and say, it better laugh. Waiting is because they will take a laugh me. And another laugh day we can deflate because I remember one time one woman Auntie Chrissy tell me, Mama say, it better let them laugh you than they can't cry for you. And that was an eye opener for me, Mama. Because they look and say, okay, before now they protect this thing which is basically
really
not there.
Don't kill her now, like you said.
Yes. So it better. So we get for look at all that day. And I remember last year when I do the light up for Ariana Diaries, and then I know waiting cannabis, I know waiting people they say, and people they get all this thing, all this now what you go don't do, now you make the man they do, and so and these people are women. So me, I was very bold for come out, and it took years, like you say, because I thought about it. I think about okay, people they get for stay waiting, they get for stay, but how about the people that we don't know where I go help? So it was a choice. Say, okay, I for cover this and not talk or not share my experience and not give other people the zeal for come out and talk to people then. Or I can look and say, okay, well, because people then will get for condemn me, people then get for talk, it was a choice. And I made the choice of speaking out.
And you have no regrets?
No, none at all. Okay. None at all. Because I think say my focus is to helping people. Because if I look and say, okay, because I don't want them to talk bad about me, for me, that's not the goal. It they benefit me in any way. Because trust me, I don't go through and nothing not get for change. Yeah. It has been a long healing process for me. That is self. I don't get for take back the years they But what thing I would do? Should I keep quiet and not help people then? So so like all the kind of thing and the woman they're afraid for talk, they are ashamed. Some people they not get the ability, the zeal, the courage. Some people they even they are so broken that some man just don't resolve say, okay, you know what, make I just deny out.
Yeah, and that's not the other thing. I think most of them just want for daily. But you say something earlier, which of course I want for going to is okay, we don't talk about the money on side. Yeah. Like you clearly say sometimes we don't hear your stories and say, now what you do man do, sometimes they cheat, sometimes they make now this, that. At any point you sit down and think, say, okay, I'm the problem. You feel like it's like you not the problem, make the mommy they do this, you want for say you were innocent the whole time, you don't do anything for trigger demand for beat you at any point. Okay.
And when it comes to that, I can say right on my piece, and I can always say that to people. Nobody not the way perfect.
True.
We have all made our mistakes. And in the home teeth and Thomas Chan, because we come from two different backgrounds. They made you differently, they made me differently. I go hurt you, you go hurt me. But waiting me always can look forward to now. Relationship, it has to come with compromise. When I get to understand myself, when I get to talk about things, not to everything, blah blah for come out. Someday when I go get for here, waiting, but it should not be physical. We get something we will call fear fight. We fight, but make it be fear fight. I go hurt you, I go do you things, but enough for reach that point of abuse. You not for come back to me in a point of abuse. Me set not for go back to you and cross the line. Because of course, times they go say you go say words to your partner. I go do you bad, you go do me bad. Nobody don't go say they don't marry almost here or something, or you know don't do stuff. So we must. But when it is consistent and it don't cross the line of abuse, then they not to matter if you do me something or not, because I do a survey. Yeah, when I do sensitization, when I talk to the boys then, because I talk to the girls, I talk to the boys as well, because when they look at it, okay, the girls then for be aware of the signs, but the boys then will therefore talk to them for the better.
Yeah.
So then I asked them one question, say, almost pandem don't knock woman. Well, a few of them is the Then I say almost pandem go want for them beat the sister or the picking, and then none of them is the So that was an eye opener for me. Say okay. So even though tit and tongue was jam, but you don't know what let somebody do that day to your sister or to your picking or to your girl picking. So sometimes when men talk like when they go say, because they go always want for the men, oh now you be do bad. But the thing is we go always get forget friction. It is a relationship. You must do something when you partner go like inside must do something. But when it crosses the line of consistently you abuse the person because of something we do, then why not walk away?
True.
You understand? That is my point. Why not walk away? So something that the way people can come at me with that, I can just laugh. And the only person we don't go through domestic violence go understand. Because as long as the man not openly push you out, it means you're not that bad. Because if you consistently want to keep you and control you and get that power, because domestic violence is all about power and control.
Right.
You want to control you in such a way. There is that point of relationship where, of course, there is the respect, the man at the head and all things. Yeah. But when it comes to that excessive control and power, where you don't want to talk to your family, you want to yes, and that kind of abuse where small thing it flare up, because soon when they talk man they go bang wall and create that kind of fear. That should not be the case. You for them a home where you filled with fear. Say, okay, if I talk something, I'm afraid to this. If I talk, it will pick me man up. That is not a relationship.
But before you got married to this man, did you know anything about him?
Well, I can say some of the things now.
Yeah, and this not to be. You know.
Well, some yes.
So you thought you were going to be different?
Of course. So like
the mistake women make.
Yes. So
me.
You get for honor. You be like me and when like I talk to people the way they go through domestic violence, one thing what I always say, in the process of healing, you get for forgive. I knew about this,
but you just ignored it.
Yes, ignored it. When it always
so you got a problem a little bit.
Yes.
All right.
So in the process of healing, you get for forgive yourself. Say okay, yes, and own up. Say look, I made a mistake, but then I have to pick up and keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Yeah.
And of course, that's what you were doing. I'll be back after this.
Let's watch the Real Talk with Aline TV show by our very own daughter of Sierra Leone, Aline Kistar.
Welcome back to Real Talk with the Lean TV show. Catches every Wednesday at 10 p.m. on AYB Entertainment Channel, Star Plus, FT, and AfriRadio. If you're just tuning in to this episode, it's really good and important, especially for the women, of course for the men as well. And today we're talking about domestic violence. Of course, I have Sadia Kanu here with me, who was the victim, and now the founder of Sadiz Anti-Domestic Violence Foundation. Of course, she's here trying to help the women that are going through this. And if you're going through this, you can reach out to her as well on her social media and go help you, of course. Go consider and say, okay, I understand, because I've been lucky maybe, but because maybe somebody gonna die. But we're not a judge anybody with to go through them. But I think say right before going on the break, I think that some of the mistakes that some of the women they make, we can all hear it, but we always think we're different. Even forget about the even domestic violence part, even with the cheating or anything like that. You will be cheated on, so say you pull the woman a house and just think, oh, I don't pull on a house. Eventually he's gonna do it to you. Come out and say it's a B. But now you don't land. So I'm sorry for doing my way go do it right now. I'm sorry, I don't know you, but I don't like you either. But hopefully, it go land. But then you think it's a mental problem though? Because you know, say mental health, now the other thing, the way they go on, where we not able to understand. For him, for the time we deal with him, you not think say maybe he's cool and loose or something. Maybe he's crazy. I'm sorry, that was your husband, but I'm saying, you not think say mental health is like small.
Well, Eileen, after we me don't go through my own, and over the years, like I get a couple of organizations they were joining. I don't talk to a couple of other people them around the world. The story there always can be similar. The journey always they be similar. The cycle, the changes in their behavior. It's a pattern, I for say. It's a pattern. And we don't come for realize say alcohol has nothing to do with abuse. Yes. Oh. Yes, if you're mentally sick, it's just it's a behavioral pattern.
You think it's an upbringing as well? Because
that can be yes.
Because you just like so them just for say like we can accept meat. They go tell you say, yeah, governor mates us, you know that kind of thing. So to them it's okay. Yeah. It's culture, it's fine. Yeah. You know, they get you on the way, go up with them, papa and they beat them mama. So it's like so you think say down the back now,
yes,
based on your research?
It can be. And some childhood experiences think it affects adults them again, male, and that is why even like when we go on sensitization, we can talk to the boys them as well. And that's some of the effects then they also of growing up in a home where domestic violence they go up, because imagine if boy picking no use for see him papa they beat him mama, but trust me, some cases then they were not than they at all. Some people can just day in them that thing of control and power, and just that kind feeling they okay say this are for be controlling, are for take over, for get power. So it does not have to be about alcohol or anything. Now something, because if when you want for know that now, where you know say man they wake in the morning and then some issues try for make some issues or something happen, it begin beating with. So waiting go make in the morning, you know, go don't drink alcohol in the morning. So it's a behavioral pattern, and sometimes people can heal from that. People can change.
Also you think say maybe, I don't know, in your own case who was doing better, because you say you've been young and you work in a band. So was he doing better than you as far as work? You know, you say, I mean, like, they make money, even they make money pass Sam.
No.
So all those not to
no.
You know, some men with the ego, you understand? Instead of the man, the woman, they do well. They can always have to break them down. You know, it's, I mean, emotionally abuse them for making you feel like, say, you might be doing good, but you're still my wife and I can do whatever I want to do.
Well, it was not the case because he was okay.
Okay. So it was just...
He was okay.
His personality.
Yes. And then I realized it was not really about me, because... like I
the one before you married, and I'm sure the one now we'll investigate.
So it was just like that. So it's not really about the person and the wit, and whether not something. Well, I don't know. It's a pattern, but not just that point of power and control. That's power and control.
So I got this question for ask you. I think when I first read the post, I was shocked. Reason why, not to anything for say, you know, I'm looking at you as beautiful as you are, and I think for every time I used for see Sadia, you were always smiling. So for me, it was like, how you still able to keep up that smile for so long? You know, maybe if you don't know, I'll tell you now. I was, look at her, she's so beautiful, she's always smiling. Everything, you pass. So when I read them, I was like, dang, that is like the same to you all. You don't know, you know. So I was shocked, you know, not so because of anything for say, okay, you go through this and stuff. Then I look and say, maybe it's love. But the most important thing was, how was she able to pull through and still keep your head up and smile all the way up? That strength they don't have for no. Who's that you put that strength for real?
Eileen, I think this is the first time I did talk about it, because me very, very close friend and know, but I went through every stage of the healing process, you know, and I think so the only thing, the only person who helped me through na God. Because I remember saying there were times where after when I accommodate, like I said, I know know say I go through this emotional thing, and then I began experiencer. you know, it come with the anger, it come with the self-pity, become very antisocial. Tell me they come, I no want for get no party, I know they go out, no nothing. And then, you know, it's traumatic. And I thank God also for me mama, I can always say, because, you know, times then the way they see the pain. They see the pain, especially where I've been there for go back na us. So and then in Paddy then go come the meeting. I was, you know, where you picking up married go then and come back. You know. But I think the only thing that God helped me, by the way, and there were times where I left for prayer, I left for go church. So
you didn't give up on
God?
God?
Yeah, because I was really shattered. I been there down, and it not happened immediately after. It happened later, where I began to understand. Because even after, waiting really break me was, even after where I don't commodity, there were stories around, you know, and that day, now some of the things that also where I can like for tell people because abusers not only they abuse you and for let you feel bad about yourself, they also they try for project you in a way, so indirectly then still they get power over you.
So because say you were the problem.
Yes, they try for indirectly abuse you by manipulating people's mind. So even when, you know, they able to abuse you directly, it comes indirectly. Okay. So with all of them things, then the way been they happen, but I been no say I'm in need for pull through, because I no say there is no other way. At this point, if I don't go through that, I remember the first lawyer where I go to, because after accommodate, I mean they still come around, so we need for get restraining order. And the first lawyer will go to where me uncle really outline like all which I go through. The lady tell me say one thing where you need for know is that nobody not go through and for you now you wear your shoes and now you know what's in the bone. So let nobody not tell you otherwise. As of now, for begin look out for yourself. So I think the most important thing was I started looking out for myself.
So you put yourself first.
Yes, and put myself first and see I need to make something out of myself. And then I just begin to be, it's slow. And up to this day, because when you don't go through domestic violence, Eileen, it even affects relationship.
Even your current relationship.
Yes, it affects them, because I realize somebody could just say something or something they snap where not with any bad intention, then it put you, it send you off now some kind
so
of
basically you still go through the healing process.
Yes.
So you could advise people and say for take time.
It will take time.
Okay.
It will take time.
So now for the one that we don't know about domestic violence, now with your explanation, maybe they're going through, they don't really understand what it is. So we're almost at the end of the show, but I want to know what are some of the advice then you go give them, and if at all they want to speak out, also you advise them for go.
Okay. So one thing where I can always say now that please not keep quiet about it. Get somebody, if you don't want to talk, if you don't get plenty people and stuff, get one person where you trust, where you know so you go talk to, but please not keep quiet about it. Talk to somebody. Reach out, like me help line at 0751 Send me message on Facebook, because
what's your name on Facebook? For
Sadiz Anti-DomesticViolence Foundation, a day on Facebook. But please not keep quiet, because talking about it helps a lot. Because when you continue for keep her inside and bottle up her inside, the problem not to be solved, and then it can you go now a phase of mental depression, because you get for the take up all thing and they bottle them, then you still they go through you don't know waiting for do, and just try for talk about it. I know say now it's very difficult for get person for trust for talk about it, but find somebody, you close friend, a parent, talk about it, tell them, because even now if we they talk to the parents them now some of the conversations then and they wait and they get with them picking them, so the picking they not even they know you, but if when go beat you, but because you people are not to talk to you, but then kind of thing they so yes. And
so what about the demand them?
Well, to demand them, I just want to say the man where I don't talk to, I can always one thing where I can always say, una go get girl picking, or you might get girl picking. Think about it. If then they do you girl picking, so if you would like that, or if then they do you sister, so because when it can come back away, we go to same seminars, we ask say if now you girl picking, some man go say I go kill, and so think about it. If now you girl picking there, because no matter what happen, sometimes you just have to walk away. but for put the person at that kind of way, because trust me, domestic violence leads to death. You no go mean am. Sometimes you no go mean for hit the person one kind of way, or something you go just say this and yes. You knacka, it drop in knacking aid, or something they before you go get trouble, walk away. But I think say we all the man there and the woman there we get for the lookout for we say honestly. And then let we talk about it more, let we encourage the younger ones there also for the talk about it, whatever it is then they go through, let we be open and encouraging, and let we let for be judgmental, because being judgmental now all that they make people then they talk about it, then they afraid about it.
Well, if you're for somebody we don't go through I think saying that the advice I need to both the men and the women, please talk about it. You know, reach out, you know, I know say with social welfare and all them places, and they must get side for talk, find an page as well, since you don't go through the experience. You know, you can, you know, you go able to relate, and then you go through the process. I want to thank you so much, you know, for coming here and telling your story. Like you say, you have to take somebody who's as bold, you know, even though you go through about 10 years ago, but like you say, you still the healing, they affect your current relationship. So I pray everything works out. I pray you actually finally get the healing. You know, but I really appreciate you coming here, and with all which you do, you know, I will support you in any way, for really push, and we need for talk to be sister and be brother then, you know what I mean. God bless your heart, and I hope,
thank you.
You know, but one last thing though, do you still talk to that guy? You still talk to
no,
him?
no,
I'm just kidding. But anyways,
no, we don't
ever talk to him. You know, this is a special gift from me to you. You know,
thank you so much, Helen. Thank you so much.
So welcome.
Thank you so much.
I don't want to go, but I gotta go. I've been your host today, Aline Keister. Till next week. Bye. Yay! It's a wrap. Thank you so much.